a lot of foreigners and a lot of Nigerians are expressing fear towards the 30th of June, which vigilante groups have given foreigners. Today, I've just been handed a communique by the consular in charge of the community, and the communique states that notice on the continuation of the screening exercise for voluntary return. What this means is that the Nigerian missions in South Africa have listened to cries of Nigerians, asking them to extend the period because a lot of other people that have not registered.
I always say that it requires a great bravery and mental stability for someone to be a husband of a South African, considering this kind of periods and feelings that you have.
Today, 7th of July, Sunday, is the fourth day for the screening of the voluntary exit for Nigerians willing to return back home to Nigeria because of the ongoing tension of the xenophobic intolerance, an attack on foreign black migrants in South Africa. A lot of foreigners and a lot of Nigerians are expressing fear towards the 30th of June, which vigilante groups have given foreigners. Yesterday, Saturday, we saw the second batch of Ghanaians, going back home, and Nigeria, as we all know, have provided 5 planes for their citizens to return back home. But today, I've just been handed a communique by the consular in charge of the community, and the communique states that notice on the continuation of the screening exercise for voluntary return. What this means is that the Nigerian missions in South Africa have listened to cries of Nigerians, asking them to extend the period because a lot of other people that have not registered have shown interest to register, especially those living outside of Gauteng. There has been a lot of inquiries and a lot of plea from Nigerians staying in KwaZulu-Natal, KZN, Cape Town, Mpumalanga, and other provinces, asking the High Commission to extend the time for the screening, and the High Commission has definitely listened to their plea. So I'll just go ahead and read what the press statement is, which was released this morning. It reads, the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Pretoria and the Consulate General of Nigeria in Johannesburg wishes to inform the Nigerian community in South Africa that the screening exercise for the voluntary return to Nigeria, earlier scheduled to end on Sunday, 7 June 2026, will now continue into Wednesday, 10th June 2026, to enable all potential returnees yet to be captured to partake in the exercise. To this end, all nationals willing to return should take advantage of the extension to come forward for registration and screening in order not to be left behind. It is also pertinent to encourage those that had earlier undergone screening to get ready to depart from early next week. The exact time and date will be communicated in due course. This information is to enable all to get prepared to depart as soon as the flight arrangements are confirmed. Thank you. High Commissioner of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 7 June 2026. So you heard it all there. The High Commission, the missions have listened to your plea and listened to your cry for an extension in date. So there will be further extension And for those that are still doubting, and for those that are still trying to pass negative message that this is not true, you've heard, unfortunately, it is true and it is happening. The federal government of Nigeria, the president, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has listened to the cry of Nigerians in South Africa and have provided 5 planes. This will be the first time in the history of Nigeria that they are actively responding to the cry of their citizens. We are still at the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where the screening, is going on for Nigerians that are willing, voluntarily to return back to Nigeria because of the anti-foreign sentiment where black foreign migrants are being targeted in South Africa. With me here, at the screening, I have a Nigerian businessman based in South Africa and Pretoria here. We would just like to hear his view on the ongoing xenophobic situation in South Africa and what the High Commission and the Nigerian missions and federal government of Nigeria is doing repatriating their citizens. So please, sir, can you just introduce yourself to our viewers?
Okay. Good day, viewers. I'm Bankole Lawal, the founder and the chief executive owner of PGW Group here in South Africa.
Okay, so for just context sake, can you just tell our viewers and tell people what PGW does as a business?
Okay, we have various businesses. Our businesses range from property to construction to beauty to money market, trading in forex and crypto, and also we are into automobile.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as a businessman, as a Nigerian in South Africa, has the xenophobic, anti-black foreign migrant situation affected you as a person or as a business in any way?
It has not affected me directly, but it has affected me indirectly. I'm married to a South African, and when you are at home with your family, your in-law, and then you have a situation where the people from the in-law side are attacking people from your side. You understand? So I always say that it requires a great bravery and mental stability for someone to be a husband of a South African, considering this kind of periods and feelings that you have.
Okay, so what's your overall assessment and view about what is going on currently in South Africa about the vigilante group and anti-black foreign migrant sentiments?
It's disheartening. It's worrisome. It's disappointing. Because I always tell people the issue of migration. You see, migration is part of human existence. You can't take it away from human beings. Everybody that settled in a place today called country or community came there. We all migrated to one place. And the reason migration has always been there is because when people are no longer comfortable where they are, they tend to go to other places in search of better opportunities. And I make a good example to those who are my friends here. I say to them, during the time that South Africa was facing our own problems, South Africans who are then fighting for that, to get out of that problem, got out of the country because it was no longer conducive for them. They were being attacked. They were being, considered as less human. They moved around the entire Africa and beyond in search of opportunities, in search of empowerment, in order for them to come back and win. It's the same thing that is happening today. Migration will always be there. People are in South Africa today because where they are coming from as well, they want to look for other opportunities. I even ask some people that, look, as a South African, your child can grow up tomorrow, and even though your country is developed, the kind of business that child wants to do might not be viable in South Africa. And that child will also go out there to go and look for opportunities, just like we have right now, South Africans in all over the world as well, and they are not being attacked. You understand? And here in South Africa, if you say migrants are committing crimes, I believe that before you can say somebody is committing crime, it means that you know the criminal and you know the kind of crime the person has committed. Now, why attacking people who did not commit crime? That's where we have problem. It's not about maybe you find a criminal among foreign nationals and then you attack the foreigner or you jail the foreigner. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the people in the country. All we want is that those who are there doing their thing and not disturbing anybody should not be attacked and disturbed, and businesses should not be what is it called,
Disturbed,
attacked or,
attacked, yes.
or destroyed, all because the person is in the country. You see, that's where the whole thing went wrong.
So, looking at what the Nigerian missions, the Nigerian embassy, and the federal government of Nigeria is doing to repatriate its citizens, what is your overall view about the step, that the federal government of Nigeria have taken?
Well, I would commend every African country who have, you know, shown some concerns towards their citizens to repatriate them from South Africa, especially those who are trapped in, who wants to go out and have not been opportune to do so. Because what we have is a situation whereby some people are in the country truly, which they have no opportunity of staying where they can be safe. If you are staying in city of South Africa or in the developed areas where you meet South Africans who are well-to-do South Africans, people who are working, educated ones, you will never feel like you even left your country. South Africa feels like a home. There are so many nice people in the country. But the problem is when you find yourself in the country among those who are hungry. They say a hungry man is an angry man. That one is a natural thing. You can't take it away from locations, from rural areas. So our people who are trapped in those places, I am in support of them going back home. And so I thank the government for doing that, at least for them to get back home safely.
Okay, so finally, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has provided 5 aircraft to take Nigerians back home, the biggest amongst the migrant community. What's your impression about that?
Well, that is a good one. We cannot take that one from the government, because I remember one of the first statements I heard from the Senate, somebody there when they were deliberating on this thing, was that the people who wants to leave South Africa must provide transportation for themselves.
Yeah, I think that was the spokesperson of the
So
Foreign Affairs
that was very
Ministry.
offensive. That was irritating. That was bad. And I would say to that person, that is a bad thing to say. If your child was among those who are trapped there, you won't say that. So to finally see that the government come to the aid of the people is commendable.
So I'll see you on Monday on the 5th day to continue bringing to you live from the embassy the situation of things on ground. Things are very calm. Things are moving on as planned, and the missions are doing their best to accommodate and to, register Nigerians and to take care of them. My name is Olani Abodedele, but many of you call me The Voice, and I'm reporting for the Nigerian Voice Television